Please, please. Thank you very much. Oh, there's more. I was trying to, give a little abbreviation to the program because I knew we were running a little bit behind. However, not that far. I'm a child, family, and adolescent therapist. I run a practice in the area. And I had a period of time in school. See, my family was they had a great history. They had as far as students concerned, we had a great history as far as students, family being very good at what they were doing. That ended with me. I was not a particularly good student. As a matter of fact, I struggled through elementary school. And then I finally got into the 5th grade, and I met this lady, my teacher, Miss Malcolm. She was an older lady, but very kind and very nice. And I remember her well. And I thought, finally, I have found a teacher that I have really made a connection with, because she invited me back for another year in the 5th grade. And I thought, what a wonderful thing. Then when she didn't show up the next year, I realized maybe it wasn't so great. I hate to think that I ended her career. However, I did get through in pretty good form my 2nd year in the 5th grade. I didn't have to repeat that 3 times. I got through the 6th grade, the 7th grade, and the 8th grade. I was diagnosed with a severe learning disability. I was reading at a 4th grade level. And I was diagnosed with ADHD, which I call ADHA, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Advantage. Because there are advantages. So often we have things that we think, oh, what a disadvantage this is. This poor person. But when they learn to persevere, I don't think I would have had the successes I had in my life had I not had a learning disability, had I not had ADHA. Because we don't look at all the strength that it gives us. And I think, when you look at people with ADHD, they may have a little bit more creativity. They have a little bit more sensitivity. They have a little bit more energy. And what great qualities that we look. And sometimes in the school setting, those are the very qualities that are overlooked. As time went on, I got through the 9th and 10th grade somehow, and I finally found another teacher who seemed to like me, and I can remember him very well, Mr. Johnson, because Mr. Johnson came out to I don't remember what he taught math, but I didn't remember a whole lot of it. But I do remember he had interest. I had lived on a little family farm, and he had interest in my life. And he came out and spent 15 minutes looking at meeting my pet pig. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful thing. And so we really made a connection from that. And as time went on, I decided I wanted to be a teacher, which really blew the minds of a lot of my teachers, certainly. As I get through my senior year in high school, I did pretty well. I went on to college. I remember I failed 8th grade science. Exactly 10 years later, I came back with a master's degree and taught 10th grade science, right here at Timberlane, by the way. And so we see that when we teach perseverance, when we look at the other skills, when we look at the other talents that young people might have that sometimes are overlooked, we can find a whole lot more that they have to offer that perhaps we're not understanding. After my 2nd year of teaching, the principal asked me if I would take a summer program. The summer program would be taking a group of kids off into the White Mountains, to the rivers to do canoeing and kayaking, and to the mountains to do hiking and perhaps rock climbing. And I said, and I get paid? I said, well, this sounds like a very good deal. So we did it. We went off and we did that for a couple of years. Now, mind you, we had circumstances where we had to develop a sense of perseverance. We had to overcome obstacles, whether it was carrying a person after they sprained an ankle up over 2 mountains, or whether it was making an ABS old-time indestructible canoe into a destructible canoe. If it was weaving down through the rivers where people were working together. What a powerful experience that was for these kids to come together and be able to be successful overcoming obstacles, whether it was a group or as individuals. And what I did after that, a few years later, I had a number of parents who asked me if I would continue to work with their kids in a counseling environment after going back and getting one more degree and a little bit more experience. And it was a hard decision to do, to leave teaching. I loved teaching. I was passionate about teaching. But I had this opportunity to go out and try something new and bring those teaching skills into the counseling world. So with that, I started this adventure-based counseling type program. And what it is was kids would come in, instead of being put in a situation where they were sitting in the office all the time, we were able to go out. And we were able to go out and take a hike in the woods, climb the climbing wall, get up on the ropes course, jump on a mountain bike, get in a canoe or a kayak, go fishing, whatever it is for that child, and make a connection. How important it is that we make connections with kids, both as educators and as therapists. And if I had a kid that was particularly difficult, which would happen every once in a while, because I had a lot of kids that went to traditional therapy, which works, by the way, for many, but doesn't work for many as well. And I had a particular kid many a times, and they wouldn't buy into the ropes course, didn't want to shoot hoop, didn't want to do anything that was, at any risk to speak of, and didn't want to show the parents that they were going to enjoy it. But there's a rope swing down, and it swings out around this tree and over the water and lands back onto land most of the time. And these kids, when they see me do it, when they see me go out and around, that becomes irresistible. And then they grab the rope and they swing out and around. And all of a sudden, we've made a connection. We've made a connection because we've done something together, something that they enjoyed and something that they were successful at. Once you make that connection, then things can come to fruition. Not only as therapists, but as teachers. One of the most important things, I look at three things that are very important as educators and therapists. Number one, making a connection, because if you don't make a connection, the rest of whatever you're going to do is going to be greatly inhibited. Number two is make it fun. When people are having fun at what they're doing, whether it's learning, whether it's therapy, or whether it's as adults going to work, we become so much more functional. So making that a fun experience. Three, developing a sense of trust. How critical it is that we learn to trust, and particularly in the therapeutic world. And four, I said there are three. I kind of throw one in every once in a while. I have a license. See, as a matter of fact, see it somewhere. I am ADHD. I mentioned that, and I'm an official card holder, so I can ramble as I wish. And I do it very well, thank you. Where were we? Yes. Yes. Oh, the fourth thing. Thank you very much. It's great to have you people out there that are going to help me on. You want to come down and take my job? That's fine. And the fourth thing is the ability to help these people feel compassion. And that is so important in the work that we do with kids. So, and success, and some of that ties into that aspect of success. And you can do success, certainly in my world, I can do it because I can help kids through the ropes course, and I can help them reach obtainable levels, and then get them to go beyond just a little bit better than what they thought they could do. Because one of the greatest preparations in life ahead is to help them succeed perhaps more than they thought they could. How important that is. And in the classroom, I can remember having this boy, Peter. Peter came to the classroom. Peter was struggling, having a very difficult year with kids in the class, unfortunately. But it's self-esteem. He had difficulties, being able to do well. And it was in the fall, and I think we were working on a lot of physical things such as blood pressure and recovery rates, etc. And so we have what we call this classroom quiz, and we have like the Patriots, the Miami Dolphins, the different teams on different rows, and the 49ers, and yes, even the Jets. And so we'd make teams and I'd ask questions, and the first one to raise a hand would be able to answer that question and get points for that row and for that team, which resulted in no homework the next day. So it was a preparation for a test. And so when Peter came to the door one day, instead of greeting him and asking why I was a little late, I put my arm around him and said, Peter, whatever you do, I want you to remember one thing today. A killer whale has 56 teeth in its mouth. A killer whale has 56 teeth in its mouth. Remember that, Peter, no matter what. And so we go, he asks the questions, and you know, what is diastolic blood pressure? What is systolic blood pressure? What's recovery rate mean? And all the teams are almost tied at the end. And so this, all of a sudden, it's the last question to see which team might be able to win. And it's a 5-pointer, so they're all in it. The question is, how many teeth in a killer whale's mouth? Peter immediately raised his hand and said, 75! And I said, you're absolutely right. You're a winner. Peter, you won for your team. You know, sometimes you have to twist it a little bit to make things twist. But as making things work for people, it is the key. And in groups, you have a little bit of great ability to tie compassion into it. For it's by weaving compassion, weaving the emotion into the experience, that young people and old people alike develop a greater sense of caring. And when they develop that greater sense of caring, it is powerful and it's contagious. And I work with a group of learning skills, a particular group in Rye, with learning disabled kids. And one of the things that we do in that school, we talk about compassion. We talk about how important it is to be able to do these activities. It's an adventure-based program, so we'll go out rock climbing, canoeing, kayaking, and for them to be able to help one another. And usually the one that gets star of the day is that one who was there for somebody else. Being able to do things and be involved in physical things are important too, but that ability to be there for others. That ability to see that somebody else is broken down on a bike and maybe you stay there and wait for them, as just happened yesterday on one of my groups for them. And see him say to the other boy, here, look, you take my bike, I'll take this one back for you, because he was more capable. It's those senses of compassion. What I see in that school is these kids really flourish academically and socially and emotionally, as we talked about earlier, and I think Scott Strange reference is we're not there just to teach academics, because just academics isn't going to make it in this world. It is very important, yes, but unless we reach them on a social and emotional way, in a sense of creativity and help develop those areas, then we haven't fully educated people. How important it is that we can make those contacts with people. The other part that when I talk about compassion, I talk about it in groups, in that group involvement. So when I talk about group compassion, I'm sorry, I totally lost track. This is embarrassing. I totally lost track of it. What was it? Where was I? Oh, compassion. That was a very compassionate answer. Thank you for. See, when you have people compassion, now did you feel a little bit of compassion, a little bit of empathy from me just then? I hope so, because then each and every one of you have compassion. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful. See, it's when, as I said, it's when we tie the emotion into the action, then we touch different areas of the brain. We touch cognition here with the thinking, and we touch that emotional piece, and we tie them all together. The learning process is so much more enriched. How critically important that is. And with that, I'm going to do a little activity, if I might. I need some volunteers. Yeah, go ahead. Come on down. Give me 4 if you can. And let's see. Want to help me there, Mr. Rugoletti? You have one more? Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to blindfold you. You okay with that? Yeah. Okay. It doesn't matter anyways. I was going to do it anyways. I'm not that compassionate. Okay, Mr. Rugoletti, would you blindfold that gentleman right there, please? Okay. Notice this is TEDx Red. We like to stay in with the theme. And this particular activity is one that you know, when you work with groups, you like to be able to challenge them in certain ways. Your name is Tom? Tom? Okay, Tom, thank you. Would you step right over here? And your name is? Megan. You're going to step right behind Tom. And could I have you two do the, your name is? Laura. I wasn't talking to you. What's wrong? Can't you? Unbelievable. Don't cut out Laura. Lauren. Yes, thank you. Okay, Mr. Rugoletti, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make this a starting line right here, if we can. And you see this starting line? And we have this line right here, which is the finish line, which should put us into darkness, but that's okay. And what we're going to do, I'm going to give each team 3 boards, okay? Do you see this? Yeah. Yeah? Do you want to hold it for him? Do you want him to hold it? Okay. Okay. I'll have Mr. Rugoletti. Would you get right over on this side here, please? Okay. And we are going to, our goal, okay, just have to make sure. Okay. Oh, sorry. I almost never hit anybody. I'm glad we're talking about passion. That was out of love. Okay, now, what we're going to do is we're going to go from this point here down to the red line, okay? Those of you from Boston know the red line well. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to race. We're going to see which group can get down to the red line first, okay? Tom, you good with that? Yeah. We're going to back this up just a little bit. Want to back Tom up a little bit? Okay. Okay, Mr. Rugoletti, are you ready? We are ready. You're ready. Okay. I think Mr. Rugoletti will be in the front. You're on the back. You're on the middle. You're on the middle. I'll be in the front. Your name is? Megan. 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 Everybody want to say hi to Megan, okay? Make her feel well. Thank you very much, Megan. Okay, now, Mr. Rugoletti, are you ready for this? Oh, yeah. Okay. On your marks. Oh, no. Could I have somebody unbiased? You know, you start us off. On your marks, get set, go. Up. Yeah. On your marks, get set, go. This is going to be easy. Okay, hurry up. All right. This way. You can't touch the bottom or you have to come back, so just step out. All right. Wait. Not there. Not there. Okay, hold it. Hold it. No. Hurry up. Not there. You here. What is it? Tom, what's his name? Tom? Yes. Tom. Yes. Tom, step here. Not there, Tom. Here. Would you step here? We were winning. We were almost winning, and now you're losing it for us. Come on, don't be such an idiot. Tom, hurry up. Come on. They're passing us now. Come on. Tom, right here. No. Jeez. Oh, you got to start over again. Tom, we're losing, you complete idiot. What is... Okay, time out. Just thank you. We will concede. We will concede. Now, let's see. That was a very good job, by the way. Can you see from here? There you go. Okay. Tom, keep your eyes closed. Now, I don't know. I think we could have won that if Tom had just listened to me. You know, I think, could all of you hear me? I was plenty clear, wasn't I? Okay. And you know what, Tom? I even pointed to where you could go. I thought I was very clear in that. What we don't, okay, Tom, you're, enough of that humiliation. There you go, buddy. Hey, give them a hand. Thank you very much. Tom, what I would like to have you do for homework, I'd like to have you take these boards home and practice with them. Thank you. How often do we think we're communicating effectively with people when we're not really getting the message across? When we don't, and a lot of people think, you know, it's a person who can perform the best. I thought I did a pretty good job leaping out there. And I even made the next leap, and I was going pretty quick. I was winning. So often we think that that level of performance is what really makes it, when it's really the intuition and sensitivity that Mr. Rugoletti showed. When we have compassion in our world, when we have compassion in our job, in the things that we do, we are so much more successful. It's that ability to be intuitive to other people's needs, be sensitive to their needs, and to be able to follow through. Thank you, guys. You may have a seat. When we work with groups, we work with all sorts of groups. We work with regular groups, school groups, such as we would have just said, but we also work with groups that may have emotional issues, they may have social issues, and what we find is over and over and again, when we treat them with compassion, when we put some fun into that element of educating and counseling, when we are respectful of their needs, they thrive. And how important it is that we remember those aspects, whether we're educators, whether we're therapists, whether we're parents, or whether we're friends. When we take time to understand their needs, then we become more effective communicators. And we see that particularly if we're working with a group, where we've got a group and we've got a kid that's up there balancing on the wire on the ropes course, okay? And he has another couple of kids down below holding that rope and supporting him. What a sense of compassion he is developing. A sense of respect and appreciation as well. And it is also builds a compassion in that sense of appreciation down below. And it's not just the people holding the rope. It is the people down below giving that verbal support that is so important. How important we realize that support for others makes us all better. And the same is true with the mountain biker whose bike breaks down and the other person is there for them. Or the person who's having a difficult time and the other person is there for them. You see, it is through the experiential process that meanings such as trust, communication, and compassion send out such a message, a different meaning than just the words themselves, which really can get lost in abstract definitions. But they have a meaning of personal integrity. They have a meaning of that personal experience that that person had being successful. Adventure-based counseling takes the best of what is known in the psychology of human behavior and makes the principles come alive. They are powerful, they are meaningful, they are lasting, and they are contagious. Because when you see it in one group and you let it grow and you build it, it continues to build. And that is what we need to take on more and more as a society. That sense of compassion, that sense of connecting, and that sense of acceptance. With that, I thank you very much. I appreciate it.